do I add people? Oh, go live with, okay, I'm going to go live with Margie. How are we going? Hello, can you hear me? I'm waiting for Margaretta. I've never done.
It's so lovely to see you as well.
Yeah,
the last time we saw you.
I'm glad we got to have a chat, and that is a pretty sweet shirt you're wearing there.
Yes, because you are so sweet as well.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Thank you, thank you. I've just been asked to sing "You've Got a Friend in Me." Okay, so
yeah, sure.
You got a friend in me, but then I just realized that I don't know how to play it, so I'll probably leave that for another time. But anyway, that's why we call it the blues. That's a good one. So Margie, you wanted to ask some questions. What would you like to ask?
Yeah, because I was inspired by another artist, and she is Miley Cyrus. So she has a project, especially during this COVID-19 situation, and it was called Bright Minds. So Bright Minds has a meaning, and we would just like to know from you what will be your insight on those topics. So B is for blessing or curses of social media. So what do you think will be the blessing and the curses of social media?
The blessing and the curses of social media. Wow. Well, that is so vast. I'll be honest with you. I think the blessings are obviously getting the opportunity to speak with people from all over the world, which is a wonderful thing. And that's fantastic. And also getting to be being able to sing. Because obviously in a time like now with the coronavirus, people are not going to be able to go out to see concerts, and they're going to be looking for, distractions to take them away from all the doom and gloom and the bad news. And just one of those ways is to you can perform for people via live streaming and via Instagram. So that's a real blessing. That's a really nice thing. And I can play a song for somebody, and hopefully that will make them happy and put a smile on their face. But then, of course, on the flip side is all the I think people are going to have a lot more time on their hands, and there's going to be a lot more keyboard warriors getting frustrated and angry and attacking people. And hopefully that doesn't happen too much. But obviously it's a very, very challenging, difficult time. So I think it's possible that people are going to be very stressed. So hopefully they don't take that frustration out on social media. But it's likely to happen. I mean, do you know when we were still doing the show on Saturday night, we had quite a lot of people saying that we shouldn't be doing the show because of the virus. So then we were getting quite a lot of negative messages on Twitter. But at that point, the government hadn't enforced any bans in public with mass gatherings. So it was important to us to entertain people and put smiles on people's faces whilst we still could. So anyway,
that's true.
My thought on that.
Yes. And what will be your thoughts about the reliable sources of this particular situation? So what will be your say if this will be reliable or not, and something like that?
How do you mean what will be reliable? So I'm not quite following you there.
Yeah. What will be what do you think that this will be a reliable resources or news for this particular situation, and how do you cope up if everything?
Well, I think people have just got to trust the information that comes through from the government. I mean, it's a very difficult situation to be able to deal with and handle. I couldn't imagine what it's like to have to manage such a challenging situation as this. And I think it's just important that people show kindness and care and patience, because we don't all have the answers. Not even the government have all the answers. It's a moving target. It's changing day by day. So they can only do the best they can with the numbers that have been projected and predicted. So I think it's best that people just try to remain calm and be there for each other and care about each other. I think it's crazy and heartbreaking to see the chaos that's causing, like, supermarkets where people are trying to grab everything and for themselves. That mentality, it's far too early for that kind of panic. If that's what people are like now, what are they likely to be like when the curve is at its peak? And it's, I think people have to just be there for each other and remain calm. That's what's most important at the moment.
Yes. Okay, so for letter I and letter G, we would just like to know your personal, you know, what do you do to boost your immune system and to get active despite of what's happening right now?
Well, obviously we can do the what we've all been told to do, and just being super hygienic. I mean, fortunately, I've always been a pretty germaphobe anyway. I wash my hands all the time. It's just one of the. I've always been quite ultra hygienic. When I travel on the tube, the underground, I don't touch anything. I don't touch any banisters. I don't touch any door handle. I'm literally like. I'm opening doors with my elbows, and I'm pulling my coat jacket down to open the handle.
Yeah, me too.
So I've always been like that, and I know Christian has as well. And I've noticed the other guys are kind of doing it now too. So I think we just have to be smart. I think I said to somebody earlier on, it seems like people have switched off their common sense, and some people have switched off common sense and turned on stupid. So I think it's more important to kind of just use your common sense and just, you know, take it day by day, and we'll all get through it. That's one thing that we can all be sure of. We will all survive this. And I mean,
that's correct.
I really hope and pray that, you know, none of us get too affected by it, and hopefully, you know, the amount of casualties is really reduced to a minimum in this situation. But of course, you know, for those that are affected, you know, we're sending our love and thoughts out to all of those. But let's just do this together. It's another challenge. We face challenges we've never faced a challenge like this in our lifetimes, but we will survive it.
Yeah, so I only have last two questions, Mark.
I've got time for one more question, so pick your best question.
Okay, sure. So for this time that everyone is quarantined or already at home, just at home, what can you share? Because I believe, or we believe in Bright Minds, that 15 minutes a day of what you can learn, especially during these times that you are at home only. So how about you? What can you share? What will be the 15 minutes thing that you would like to learn?
If I was to get able to gain 15 minutes every day through being quarantined, you can bet I'll be sitting at the piano. I will be practicing. I will be playing. But I would suggest and recommend that people do something that they don't normally do for 15 minutes. Whether it's read a book, whether it's listen to music, whether it's trying to write a song, write a poem, write a story, call a relative, you know, phone a friend. It's starting to sound like a game show now, but just do something that you don't normally allow yourself to do, because life is so busy and life is so chaotic. But you know what? You know what we always hear? People always say, I don't have time. But you know what? We're all blessed the same amount of time. We all get 24 hours each, and we all get to use, you know, we're all the same in that sense, and we're all on the same level. And I just think that it's too easy to say, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. But I think this coronavirus, this outbreak, should put some things into perspective. And I think it's time for people, it's a bit of a wake-up call, really. It's time to kind of just focus on what matters, focus on your loved ones, what's important to you, and make the most of every minute. So if you do something new for 15 minutes, I don't know, yeah, do a jigsaw puzzle. But yeah, I mean, you know, failing that, you can always rearrange the sock drawer. That's worth doing, isn't it? And that's the worst last answer I could possibly give, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. So
yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Mark,
thank
for
you.
this.
It's lovely to speak to you. So do you exit now, or do I exit? Which one? Who says goodbye? So
I can exit for you, Mark, and see you again here in Philippines.
Bye. God bless.